What's up, guys, and welcome back to Week of Entertainment. So, I'm back, with some exciting news for the public, or maybe whoever, is standing with the team defense. And Patricia Mashal is coming in with an update here, and she is saying Sifiso Meyiwa has distanced himself from the statements of Advocate Gerrie and his cousin. So this is the update from Patricia Mashale. And where is this post from Patricia Mashale coming from? What is really happening is that in the past few days, we saw some article circulating on SABC News. And that article from SABC was saying that Advocate Gerrie is representing the Meyiwa family, and he has said the Meyiwa family is now agreeing that these 5 accused before the court are the correct suspects. So that is what that article was saying. It was Advocate Gerrie speaking on behalf of the Meyiwa family and saying the Meyiwa family is happy with the proceedings of the trial and with how, they finally nailed the correct suspects with regards to what happened to Senzo Meyiwa. But we all know that Sifiso Meyiwa and even the entire Meyiwa family, they were always against this version from Brigadier Gininda. They never agreed with what he was saying, and they were always of the view that it's actually Longo Twala who pulled the trigger, and these 5 guys are innocent. So many people, were disappointed, like, how can the Meyiwa family make this massive U-turn, just like that? But right here, right now, we have Patricia Mashale, through her sources, she has spoken with the Meyiwa family, and Sifiso Meyiwa has distanced himself, from the statements of Gerrie. So looking at the past, the Meyiwa family actually requested a legal assistance from Advocate Gerrie and AfriForum. And at one point, Advocate Gerrie represented the Meyiwa family, but they quickly parted their ways after Advocate Gerrie was trying to convince the Meyiwa family that the state has a very strong case against these 5 accused, and there is no way that you can win this one. So they then parted their ways, because the Meyiwa family was not agreeing with that version of the events. But somehow, surprisingly, in the past few days, we started to hear that Gerrie is back. So we don't know where that article was really coming from. So despite all of that, so many people were not even believing that and saying there is no way, that Sifiso Meyiwa is now of the view that those 5 accused are guilty. So having said all of this, what does it mean about Advocate Gerrie? Does it mean that the guy was lying and was fooling us by saying that he was representing the Meyiwa family? If it is indeed true, that maybe he was lying, that he was representing the Meyiwa family, and in fact, maybe he wasn't, there are very, very serious consequences for his behavior. And the first consequence is professional misconduct, because that guy is a lawyer, and you can't be going around doing that. Because misrepresenting facts can violate legal ethics rule, and this may lead, to disciplinary action by legal regulatory bodies, suspension, or reputational damage, within the legal community. There are also defamation suits, we've heard these ones, whereby people would be suing you and saying that you tarnished our image, like the Meyiwa family exactly, they would be suing Gerrie to say you gave false statements to the media regarding us, you misled the public, etc., etc. So we now want so and so much money. So those are the consequences that Gerrie can face in this regard with his behavior. But on the other hand, however, we might be getting ahead of ourselves. Maybe Advocate Gerrie did not say anything with regards to the Meyiwa family agreeing that the 5 accused are the ones who are guilty. Maybe the story in itself, it wasn't true, or it was just maybe some intent journalist, who was just browsing the internet for news, or maybe was using some artificial intelligence. Then it finally landed on that Gerrie story whilst he was still representing the Meyiwa family some time back. Then from that, the guy then compiles an article, then posts it, obviously with the reputation of SABC News. It definitely goes viral. So it's another scenario that might have happened. But if it is indeed true that it occurred that way, then SABC obviously would have released a clarification to say that this story, we apologize. Exactly, we've seen those apologies being released to say we apologize for the story. But so far as things stand, there is no apology whatsoever from SABC with regards to that article. It is still out there. And Advocate Gerrie himself, he hasn't said anything or any response to him representing the Meyiwa family or him not representing the Meyiwa family. So what we have right now is this response from Patricia Mashale, who seems to have spoken with the Meyiwa family to say the Meyiwa family is distancing themselves from Advocate Gerrie. So how can we get the truth going forward? What do we know? Like, what truth can we now rely on? I think the only way for us to believe the truth going forward is to see Gerrie himself speaking, and not us reading an article on SABC or ENCA. It's us, seeing Advocate Gerrie speaking, and not only just him speaking, him speaking whilst beside him there is Sifiso Meyiwa or someone from the Meyiwa family, exactly like they did in the past, back, I think, when was it? Just some few years ago, when Gerrie was representing the Meyiwa family. If they can do it that way, then I think that's way we can now believe and say, yeah, it's true. Gerrie is definitely representing the Meyiwa family. So this is the review, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.